I would like to relate the word building tomorrow to the larger perspective of infra, including construction. I will call it C&I, the tangible assets for shaping the world. I got very excited by the theme of the conference, Building Tomorrow, Steel Shaping the World. Theme also includes steel, again very apt. I will also include stainless steel. You would have noticed I am the stainless partner, with the hope that more people speak about it. It is also part of Chapter 72. Like Ashwinji said, I represent industry in working with the critical and important government stakeholders to give them the inputs so that they help us back. Many of the things I will be speaking would be perhaps known. Few things, Ashwinji, you stole my what I wanted to say, very insightful. But still, to set the context, I would like to take a step back. Construction and infra, we talk a lot about it, but how important it is for the nation. I believe that, like rightly said, it is directly proportional to the growth of GDP. It plays the pivotal role. It is vast, it is critical, and it is very evident from the government push. We know interim budget 11.1 lakh crore. कभी-कभी ये समझ नहीं आता lakh crore क्या है. It is 6 months GST collection of the nation. So that is the importance government is giving. NIP, National Infra Pipeline, $1.4 trillion. Perhaps 2 Singapores, 2 Switzerlands. So that is the focus. Let's try to visualize. ये है क्या infrastructure? Highways, Bharatmala, 22 greenfield expressways. These are the opportunities I'm trying to build. Highways, 1.46 lakh kilometers to 2 lakh kilometers in next only 2 years. Airports, Udan 2016, 140 to 220, we hear about this. Railways, National Rail Plan Vision. Last year, 12 kilometers per day. This year, 19 kilometers per day. Ports, Sagarmala, 23 waterways ports, carrying capacity of 2,600 million tons to 10,000 million tons in Amrit Kal, and of course, logistics. It has been a big grievance for the industry that logistics cost बहुत ज़्यादा है. So from 13% to 8% by 2030, so that is the focus. And when you visualize this, you will start seeing the foot over bridges and barricades and stations and so many things, and specifically construction, Amrit, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transportation, PM Awas Yojana, these are all the opportunities. Plus the private infrastructure that gets built along when the government invests in the infrastructure. Yes, it is very, very important for the nation building, and PM Gati Shakti is providing speed to this execution. Ashwini ji said steel is very important. What is the industry perspective? How important it is for C&I and in general? You might be aware that there is something called index of 8 core industries. It has got coal, crude, electricity, so on and so forth, and only one metal, that is the steel. So it also reflects how critical it is for the nation. It is also linked with the GDP. GDP, if it grows by 10%, steel can grow by anywhere between 1 to 1.5 times, and we are seeing it. Having a dedicated ministry also is a matter of pride for us. That is the importance government gives, and how the dependence of steel and stainless steel in the applications. If we see steel, more than 65% of steel goes into construction and infrastructure. This is the fixed tangible assets, and if I talk about the moving tangible assets, automobile, railway, transport, another 10% goes into it. So that is the interdependence of GDP with the steel. Now I also want to talk about stainless steel. Small brother, 3% volume, but 10 to 15% of the value. 25 years back, हमें सिर्फ बर्तन दिखते थे. 80% used to be the kitchenware. 25 years hence today, kitchenware has come down to 35%. The others have grown to 65%. And what is the 65%? Within this, C&I is 30%, and the pie is increasing. Another interesting fact, cement to steel. Japan, Korea, seismic, zero point 0.7 cement, 1 steel. USA, 1.3 to 1. Interestingly, China in world is 2.2 to 1, and India is close to 3 to 1. So that speaks about another huge opportunity increasing the pie size. So I believe that steel is indeed very important, and the total supply chain involved in steel, we must be very, very proud to be part of this, and I think we need applause for the steel industry. Now I come back to the theme, Building Tomorrow. I would like to introduce the word sustainability here. Loosely speaking, हम लोग sustainability को carbon neutral से relate कर देते हैं, but that is a very, very myopic and small definition and a subset of sustainability. I believe that it means that finding solutions for today without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. It has got 3 pillars. The first is it should be people-friendly, social, safe, for example, fire resistance, crash resistance, inert, aesthetics, easy to fabricate, easy to process it, and the second is it should be friendly to the planet. Here comes the green, recyclable, carbon neutral, green. Those are the words which come to the mind when we talk about the environment or planet friendly. And of course, it should be profitable, the third P, economical. It may look costly, but it should be related with the life expectation within an environment. That means I'm talking about life cycle costing. So we need such solutions. However, there is a challenge. Reference of corrosion, you also spoke, sir, and rightly so. Sustainability is inversely proportional to corrosion, and as per the study, about 4% of the GDP of the world gets eroded because of corrosion, and this innocuous 4% number, how big is it? At the world level, every year, one Germany gets eroded from the face of the earth. If I see America, perhaps 3 apples. If I see India, 10 lakh crore, that is equivalent to practically the infra budget of the India. So that is the impact. And India has got a coastal line of 7,500 kilometers, and also is having the seismic zones here and there. Here comes material science, and 25% of this can be saved. Some numbers. Last 40 years, world CAGR, 5 competing metals, stainless steel, aluminum, copper, carbon steel, and zinc. Weighted average growth is 2.5%, and it starts from stainless steel, which is more than double of this, 5.35, and it goes up to zinc, which is 2. So every metal has got its own scope, and India's story is more encouraging. Two-digit growth is happening. We are very, very upbeat. Steel capacity, 168. I'm very upbeat that it will go to 300 by 2030, and of course 500 by Amritkal. And steel consumption, production was 143 million, consumption was 130 million estimated in the last financial year. And stainless steel is also going hand in hand with 4.5, and it will go to 20 million ton in 2047. So that is the enormity of the opportunities of steel and stainless steel. So we need to have a right metal. So my recommendation here is, and this recommendation is in fact to the industry where we have to work together. Number 1, LCC-based solutions. Number 2, working on the standards, case studies, and codes. We are doing our bit, aligned with the IITs, and we are very hopeful that in the next 6 months' time, we will see codes related with stainless steel, and of course, the awareness about the sustainability and the LCC. I would like to share an example here, since we are on sustainability. I got an opportunity to be a jury member of a award related with architects. All India basis, 600 architects. I could see the work of 20 architects, 3 projects each. A beautiful question. What is the appropriate material chosen for the projects with respect to cost, durability, and environmental impact? It is a sustainable solution people wanted. Unfortunately, the steel was limited to the granted application of Sharia or the strength in some other questions, and stainless steel was limited to aesthetics. But they were not part of this question, where the sustainability was the key requirement. So again, learning for steel and stainless fraternity to think demand potential. Again, I am very, very upbeat. I will put the demand into 3 categories. One is the organic, traditional, architecture, building, construction, automobile, railway, transport, process industry, household, with the extra focus on the infra by the government. Second is the evolving. This is something which we are seeing now: green, defense, med equipment, agri implements, aerospace, and then the futuristic. Today, blue economy is a very, very initial stage word, but I strongly believe that in next 5 years, this is going to be the game changer, and even National River Linking Project, I hope it takes off quickly. That will change the total environment, and this, whatever projections we are seeing for steel and stainless steel, it will exceed. Are we geared up? Are we ready? Industry has a commitment. Of course, capacity expansion. We were talking about that perhaps India doesn't have adequate capacity as compared to the demand. Yes, we need to expand in a big way. There are other commitments also which the industry needs to do: operational efficiency, R&D, innovation, ecosystem ownership. Here what I mean is that the product we as a mill, what we make, is not the same what you as a user either consume or experience. Simple, we make stainless steel, you use Bartan. So there is a huge ecosystem, and in India it is full of MSME. So I request all the steel fraternity that we must own the total ecosystem to ensure that every link in the supply chain is equally capable to provide the right solutions. We are again doing our bit: qualification packs related with the welding, related with the heavy fabrication. Then, of course, quality, product range, green sensitivity is the buzzword, green hydrogen, supply chain, distribution, and the world is looking at us as a hawk. We have to be better than them. Business development, LCC awareness, even participation in such conferences, they also cost. And above all, digitalization. I was having an offline discussion, so I noticed that this topic needs perhaps 1 to 1.5 minutes. We are loosely using the word digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. I believe that for IR 4.0, digitalization is the enabler. Like in IR 1.0, way back in 1760, mechanization was the enabler. In IR 2.0, 1870, 100 years gap, electrification was the enabler. Third, IR 1970, automation was the enabler. You see, 100 years, then another 100 years, in 40 years, the IR 4.0 has come. In fact, there is an overlapping now. IR 5.0, we have to think beyond. You will not forget Terminator and Transformer. So that is example of IR 5.0. So IR 4.0 today, very, very critical for the value chain transformation. And I believe that everybody sitting here is somehow involved in the value chain of the ecosystem, whether it is the flexibility of the manufacturing, efficiency, quality, quicker to market. And the myth related with the cost to get into the digitalization, that is actually broken in the last 10 years. The cost of data storage and cost of computing system has come down by 50%. I'm talking about SaaS, software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and of course the technologies. We are using the word AI very, very loosely. I think we need to look into the data, AI, simulation, reality, AR, VR, 3D printing, and the words like IoT and blockchain. But I believe that all of us are doing a lot of things in the digitalization. We only need to be structured. However, it all costs big, and there is a challenge. We are not alone in the world, and we are growing max. And we are a big economy, we are a big market. 1990, you would have heard the word VUCA: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So world was very, very volatile. Then another word got coined in 2020, BANI: brittle, anxious, non-linear, incomprehensible. The word black swan has become very, very regular. I think we should now coin the word something like blue swan, because what we saw in the last 4 years, the black swans were too frequent. Pandemic, Ukraine, now Israel, now so many things. So the world is very, very dynamic. Thanks to China, the irresponsible capacities and non-WTO compliant practices, the world from globalization, it is turning into nationalization. every producing country is imposing trade remedial actions in China. India is a little exception. So there is a concern. Who will meet the growing demand? In case of steel, it's a big challenge. We just heard we are net importers. But this net importer means in case of steel, only 6 to 7% of the steel is being imported. But in case of stainless steel, it is 30%. It is not related with the capability and capacity. Thanks to China, minimum 20% non-WTO compliant subsidies they are providing. We are grateful to the government, specifically to the Ministry of Steel, their efforts on cost of capital, cost of logistics, ease of doing business, cost of doing business, and many, many more specific like BIS, QCO policies. Well, it's a journey, but I am very upbeat that very shortly we will be competitive in terms of the cost of logistics, also cost of capital. These are the two challenges which the Indian industry face a lot. So while closing, my two requests: sustainability, LCC should be must, at least to start with, maybe 50 kilometers at the coastal lines, and the level playing field. It will give us more profitability. I believe that profitability is a good word. Gives confidence, more investments. In both these areas, we need to work together to support government and get supported. Opportunities, yes. Challenges, yes. Solutions, resounding yes. We are committed. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.